All right. This is another testimony. I hear this purpose saying, keep talking, because obviously my vocal cords at some point won't be able to function, or maybe I will not be able to speak as I can speak now. And so that is why I'm talking then, because there'll be a time I won't be able to talk. And so before that happens, I want to make sure I'm going to keep talking and continuously make sure that things are put in perspective that they need to be said, And as I'm saying that, as always, they're going to try to counter things that they don't want to hear. They keep telling me I'm going to get knocked out and all that. Target individual, this for them is like a job where reality is what they are trying to counter. They are blocking reality. This is what that's their job. They like to call it good defense, because for them, defense to me is having my things put back in perspective. They're manipulating you, and your defense is calling out the manipulations. That is their defense. So they use these childlike people that don't understand that what it means is you're actually admitting that you are living in a creation that you made yourself, a falsification. And you want me to stay within this realm of fantasy that you create for yourself. As I said, that somebody said black girl. That's supposed to then they start do things to my brain in regard black girls and do the pedophilia type of tormenting. And that's something they do. To them is it's job, it's war. It's not really war, but it's like this is where this subject's supposed to stay in this state of mind that they've created. They've put together, and that forced me to think this way. As I'm saying that, they try to go back into other things where they as they were molding this disturbing thoughts, they want me to accept as if it's mine. No, it's what they've done, and they've done so much more, and they make me think of things in this irrational ways. 2 seconds ago, they just went back to a memory where they manipulated into something else. I remember when I was dating somebody, and we went to see some neighbors or some coworkers of hers that lived in an area, and those people had kids. They had twins, a boy and a girl, and now they're putting stimulation toward that. To that moment, and stimulation, it's like those pedophilia stimulation, the black girl stimulation, right? Even though the kids weren't black, but I'm saying like the pedophilia things. So they try to implant this thing where when me and my girlfriend at the time went to see them, the kids, now they give me this disgusting stimulation they do, right? As I said, they're going to continuously go into memories and see where they can implant things. And they're not implanting in the little boy, because me and my girlfriend at the time were very close to the son of her brother. So what they're doing now is like, okay, well, let's just focus on the little girl and put stimulation there. They're nasty. They're disgusting. And in the midst of that, they were also making me think of an actual sexual moment with this woman, or something with that woman, and then changed the thoughts from the woman to, after the stimulation, to aim it toward these children. They have these ways of manipulating you in order to create this disturbing pedophilia things. These people are disgusting, but they've been known for this pedophilia type of tormenting. That's really, is consistently been done to others. So I just continuously talk and express what's happening. They also under the impression that I'm doing this to say, oh, believe me, I know that people know this. I don't have doubt. It's not going to change anything. But these people want to create this fantasy and live with the fantasy they've created themselves too. They really create these things, these thoughts, watch it happening, and want to live in this fantasy that they've created. They keep, some of them, they don't have a problem being obvious about the brainwashing. The black girl, black. They can say that a million times and think that, oh, the more I say it, the more it's going to be true. It's BS. They are completely out of touch with actual reality, but they are in complete form. They're completely in the world they're in, where their job is to get you to think in this way. So when I think of, okay, do you think bad things are going to come back to them? These people who are so delusional, they live this fantasy where they completely isolate themselves from reality. from seeing themselves for truly what they are, people who are forcing people to think in these disturbing ways, working day in and day out with no shame, to try to turn into a pedophile. Do I think that bad things are going to happen to them? Of course, I know this is going to happen. I don't have doubts. This is textbook. Things are going to come back to you really soon. But in the meantime, you chose to involve yourself in this. It's easy for you to be involved in this. It doesn't take much. It just take a lot of self-degradation and childlike mentality, which a lot of them have fit that thing, that criteria. As I said, that I think somebody said that in advance, so you understand why they will be appealing. It will be appealing for them to say that they feel like I said that thing. The sophistication of this weapon empower these people to think that they're like mistakeful. I see them for the trash that they are. Governments using this trash, they feel empowered by the ability of this technology and want me to see them in a mistakeful ways. I know what they are. They're just the trash. They sold to pedophiles, and they want me to be their pedophile. They do these nasty things. That is just disgusting. So this memory now, I can never experience it as the real memory. It's going to be always filled with this nasty stimulation. And on top of that, they like to pick on moments in your mind that weren't like the most important. Like that's you okay, I remember the family, but it's not like, oh, like we're best friends. I think we went to see them maybe twice or so, and I was not like we're not that close, right? And so it was not a family that stayed in my mind, because it was just like, okay, we went to see them, and it was more like I had to do this for my girlfriend. My girlfriend was friend with them, and sometimes like that, those forced moments where you don't really want to go and be entertained there, but I was there, and I went along because my girlfriend wanted to go see them, and the kids were there, but okay, whatever, like they were just like in the background or whatever. Now what they're gonna do is go, oh, we're gonna choose this moment because he didn't really care about being there too much. So what we're gonna do is like, oh, we can manipulate the memory and add the stimulation, and it's going to be harder for him to even remember how he actually felt, because this moment to him is nothing. So he's gonna know the stimulation implanted in this, but what's gonna he's gonna know the stimulations are implanted, but just because this moment didn't mean much to him, he's not gonna really he's not gonna be able to recall the real feelings, not even the feeling, the real moment, the real memories, So let's just implant that. And I know it's falsified. I don't have no doubt. This is the disgusting things they do. It feels like what they're doing to me today. It's nasty, and that's what they do. And with time, my memory is fading more away. So they can implant more and more of this disturbing pedophilia thing. So they're going to look for any moment, like I said, any moment where there's children, and put some nasty stimulation. And really your brain completely forgets your real memory. It's not, you just know that's disgusting. No, but you don't remember yourself anymore as much as you used to. So they can just create this new version of you as you forget yourself more and more. After that, when I made this memory manipulation video, I was talking about like it'll be a day where I forget me, and it feels like those days are coming up. So now I just know this is falsified. I'm 1,000,000,000,000% sure. Now, can I try to get my real memory? Probably not. You're just making me feel this nasty stimulation in that memory, and that's that. And as I'm saying that, they're like, oh, there's people where when we're gonna frame you, there's people waiting for you, and they're gonna rape you, and they're gonna torture you, and try to add so you can identify with this false memory. They're not saying that just to warn you. They're saying that so you can be, oh, you see, that's kind of proof, because they sell this memory, and they're gonna wait for you, and they're gonna rape, because they want you to be like, oh my gosh, this is this false memory. Like they want you, and they're like, they also want to make it sound like, oh my gosh, we caught you. Look, oh my gosh, they gotta wait for you. They say you're a pedophile. When in reality, they're the fucking pedophiles, trying to make you accept this false memory with this pedophilia stimulation they force you to have now in your memories, and try to get you to accept these things. But that's not it. The level of idiocy, and you gotta understand how disgusting these pedophiles are. I'm calling them pedophiles directly because of what they do. Their job is to make me have these pedophilia stimulations and manipulate my memory to have those in my memories and try to make me subscribe and identify to it. And they're doing these things while being the biggest cowards. And they know I'm not going to subscribe to it. I can play enough. I have enough validation. That's, especially when you watch some of my previous video, that's what they do. They have the ability to implant things in your memories. They have the ability to stimulate you in different ways. Everything has been said before, and they're going to consistently and systematically continue to do that. Some of the things they do, there's one story they try to create. It's so, because the BuzzFeed calls out that these agencies have a bunch of pedophiles where they download child porn, even on their government devices. There's even stories in that BuzzFeed where there was like agent that will go out overseas somewhere, come back with child porn, and then distribute the child porn with other people, co-workers and whatnot. So now they try to create some story or like a version of a story like that in my mind, and then try to make me think of, when I was younger, I dated a girl who was maybe 3 years younger, She was not yet an adult. She was about to be an adult. She was like maybe a month before she was an adult. I was 3 years older than her. We dated, and this girl who's 3 years younger than me, then we took, like as people dating, and let me just remind you, 3 years younger, right? So she turning 18, and I was 20, and we were, that was a 3-year gap here. So I took a picture. I took a picture of her, and she was, I took, as boyfriend and girlfriend, I took a picture, and she was not like fully dressed in that picture, right? And it was for me, and as we are together, boyfriend and girlfriend, I took a picture of her. She posed for me, and that's that. And they're like, you see, that's child porn. You had child porn, right? And of course, as somebody who's, that young, I'm gonna show it to my friends, like, hey, this is my girlfriend, whatever. They're like, you see, this child porn. You had child porn. This is because they're trying to block out these agents that download child porn on their government devices, or even like not only downloading it, but even buying it and doing things, and it's disgusting. And they try to compare, remember when you took the picture of your girlfriend at the time who was 3 years younger than you? Yeah. Oh, and then you showed that to your friend too. I was like typical, like showing we're talking about 20-year-old, and so I'm like, hey, here, look, and I show. He's like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. He's like, oh, you see, to counter the fact that these people have these pedophiles downloading child porn on government devices, and try to make it sound like it's the same thing. Somebody opens the door, it's like, oh my gosh, they are delusional. These are the people in your brain with the capability to do so much to you, to try to make you subscribe to this. These people are trying to block the fact that there's a bunch of pedophiles that are going in these agencies where they download child porn on the government devices, and they try to talk about, oh, remember when you took a picture of your girlfriend at the time who was 3 years younger than you? And they like try to compare these things. Do you understand? This is the kind of mentality they use, they hire. You tell me this, I have to hope for that? Do you know how to touch with reality they have to make themselves be? I understand this is for the job, but for the job they gotta sell it. But what happens when you're in that state of mind where you make yourself this retarded? You make yourself this spectrum-like. It means that you get out of touch with reality as is. You gaslight yourself into the state of just, I'm at war, we need to no, you're not at war. You do these disgusting things. You force people to have these disturbing pedophilia stimulations. You force people to have false memory when you include this nasty stimulation, and then try to make them subscribe to it. And call yourself, obviously when they call themselves gods, to them is a way to just agitate you. I don't think they believe they're gods, of course, but they keep calling themselves gods because they can control so much of what's happening to me, right? And I'm like, please continue to call yourself that. Do you understand? This is just basically something that I don't need to hope for. You will never hear somebody who called themselves gods have good things ending up happening to them. So that's why I'm like, yes, call yourself. Yes, please. Yes, you're God. And say, really, you're gods. Because you'll see how trash you really are. And you already know that. I know you're saying that to agitate me, but please continue to say it. This is the kind of people they use. And you see these gods, and you're like, do I need to hope for that? This is not what I'm going to hope for. Now, am I going to hope for strength because I'm going to go through a lot of things? Yes. I pray to God, the real God, or sorry, the fake gods, not you guys, to give me strength that I can deal with whatever I'm going to have to deal with, the horribleness I'm going to have to deal with. But I'm also thankful to God, the real God, I'm sorry, the fake one, that I didn't have to dumb myself down. Like, listen, I know who put me in this program. I know. These gods are not the people responsible